Hell's fires burned hot as weeks of my life slipped away through my fingers, watching helplessly as my companions fell, as my resets grew fast, as interest died. This was no longer about fun. No. This was to prove to myself I can spite the odds. That I can stand triumphant. That I will never do this again anytime soon. This is how, on my 30th attempt, after hundreds of resets, I finally beat the Pokémon Emerald no-catch Nuzlocke. Man, I love title drops. Now, before we get into how I beat this challenge, I should tell you what the challenge even is in the first place. The no-catch Nuzlocke is exactly what it sounds like. A Nuzlocke, but you can't catch anything. Let's get into the rules. Rule 1. A fainted Pokémon is dead and must be released or permanently boxed. Rule 2. All Pokémon must be named. Honestly, this one's kind of optional. No one gets attached to Mons and Nuzlocks anymore. Rule 3. No items in battle. Held items are fine, though. Rule 4. The game must be in set mode. Rule 5. There's a level cap of the next gym leader's highest level Pokémon. If a Pokémon is over that cap, it must be boxed until after the gym. Then there's a cap of the Elite Four's highest level. Whatever applies. Rule 6. No catching. You are stuck with gift Pokémon. Now that we know the rules, let's see how I finally beat this godforsaken challenge. We begin with our only viable starter choice. A Mudkip with a special defense boosting nature. That's where all the resets came in. This is Cinnamon, our best boy. He's a bit sassy. We find our neighbor, beat her up, and take her money. And her dad gives us our Pokédex. I'll be sure to fill that out. Next, my always at work father makes us help Tiny Tim catch a Pokémon and tells us to take on the gym challenge. Get stronger, and come back to fight him. So we do just that, bringing us to our first gym, the Rock-type gym leader, Roxanne. Her team is nothing special, just 2 Geodudes and a Nosepass. We go into the fight at level 14, so we don't accidentally skip Mudshot. We spit on some rocks, learn Bide. That's a useful Mousecatool that'll help us later. And we finish it off with more water, getting my first badge. Kinda easy so far. Afterwards, Cinnamon evolves and learns Mudshot, which is a huge boost to his power. And after some errands, and picking up some sand, we grind to the absolute limit. By the way, this entire time I've been grinding against strictly level 2 Poochyena and Wurmple, so I can squeeze out every EV that I can. So Cinnamon's attack and HP will be great. I've also been avoiding every trainer possible as to not interfere with that EV training. Especially avoiding Shroomish trainers because they'll still destroy me with no issue. I love being 4 times weak to grass. This brings us to our second gym, where after looking up the map online, we reach the fighting type leader, Brawly. Which after many previous attempts, I found he is a potential roadblock. But the soft sand item swings those odds wildly in your favor, so you'd need to be pretty unlucky to lose here. Speaking of unlucky, but one more Mudshot puts Machop in the ground. A lucky crit against Metatype means it goes down before it can set up screens, so we don't have to stall them out, thank God. Finally, is Brawly's ace, the only threat on this team. Makuhita. He tanks one mud shot, bulks up, and heals a lot from his citrus berry. Meaning I don't do nearly as much damage, and Makuhita hurts me for a lot more. Conveniently, putting Cinnamon in torrent range. So our water gun kills, and we take our second badge. But here's where things start to get interesting. This begins the stealth segment of this challenge. Yes, a stealth segment. From here till Lava Ridge Town, there is an abundance of experience, and the level caps are tight. So there's a real threat of overleveling, which with only one Mon, would cause us to lose the run. So after blasting through 4 mandatory trainer battles, and 1 wild Poochyena, our XP is now perfectly set for us to get through these next battles without overleveling before Watson. But, just because we can get through, doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, hardest fight of the run is next. May. She leads Wingull, the deciding factor of this fight. Wingull has 2 moves that could guarantee a loss. Water Gun and Wing Attack, which does too much damage to let us survive Grovyle. Supersonic gives us our best chance if it misses with its terrible accuracy. Otherwise, being confused gives us another huge layer of RNG that we have to play through, on top of Wingull choosing its move in the first place, and Cinnamon using the inaccurate Rock Tomb. Needless to say, it would be kinda tough. Luckily, Wingull uses Growl, which is perfect, because we don't miss. We never miss. And we land that Rock Tomb. Meaning, we now outspeed and take it down without taking damage. This brings us to the weirdest strategy I've ever had to use. Bide. I have never used Bide until this run. But desperation does things to a man. Grovyle goes first, obviously, and Absorb does about 1/3 of Cinnamon's HP. Which means as long as he doesn't crit, we are set. See, if Cinnamon wasn't a special defense boosted nature, or if Grovyle was special attack boosted, I can only control one of those, it would do too much damage to survive. But we take another. Then thanks to Oranberry Heal, we take yet another. Then Bide unleashes massive damage, killing Grovyle in one go. And with one last mud shot, Slugma faints. We are officially past the game's biggest hurdle. And on to the next gym. With that careful XP prep coming into play, I beat Wally and Youngster Ben, and stay within the level limit before I challenge Watson, the 3rd gym leader. Yeah, it was as easy as you think. But I got my 3rd badge and we raised our level cap to 29. Now onto the great stealth mission to Lava Ridge Town. Well, the evil teams are blocking the way. So I smack around Team Magma for a bit and get to their leader, Maxi. Another challenging encounter in this run. He leads Mighty Anna. Intimidate cuts Cinnamon's attack, and then Sand Attack cuts Cinnaman's accuracy, which thank God didn't matter too much. A long fight later, and Mighty Anna goes down, and Torrent is in effect. Zubat comes in, but Cinnaman proves once again that he's goated, landing the Rock Tomb, then critting on a water gun, and drowning Camerupt easily. I really lucked out this time. Now at Lava Ridge, we find something even more important than the next gym. An egg. What could possibly be inside this egg? Oh, look, it's hatching. It's the subscribe button. That's right. This is the reminder to subscribe and like the video, because it really helps the video get out there. Get out there to the people. The people that I need to like and subscribe. And those help the videos. Thank you. And back to this stupid challenge. With our new boy Nutmeg the Wynot holding an XP share, this allows us so much freedom without the worry of overleveling. And with that, we can get to Flannery pretty easily. Then, we take away that XP share before the fight, because we need Cinnaman to level up. Cinnaman easily one-shots Nummel and Slugma. Then Flannery sends out Camerupt, which sets up the sun, having the power of my water gun. But more importantly, Mudshot almost kills. Twice, using up both of Flannery's hyper potions. With no healing left, and a timely level up, we are as prepared as we can be for Torkoal. The rest is up to God. And Cinnaman proves himself an absolute Sigma Chad on that Pokemon League grind set, battling through love to secure the dub. 2 Mudshots and 2 wasted turns, we come to the deciding moment. But I already told you the outcome, and there's still a lot of video left. So Torkoal misses Overheat, and we finish it with a water gun. That makes 4 badges. With our fancy new goggles, I gain another vital piece of this run. Coffee, the Anorith. And after a quick several-hour EV grind, we're ready to beat up my dad. Norman is a pretty strong fight in most challenges with his brutally strong slacking, so I have to really be careful here, or I'll lose a Mon, and I cannot afford that right now. I lead Cinnaman, and immediately miss a Mudshot while Spinda dances. Then miss again. Hurt myself again. Then finally, Mudshot lands. But of course, God said I was too lucky, and we miss one more time before taking out Spinda. Good lord. Vigoroth comes in and eats a Mudshot or 2 before we switch into Nutmeg, while Norman heals his Vigoroth. 2 counters easily deals with Vigoroth, but out comes the big guy, slacking. After a few turns of failing counters and encores, I switched Nutmeg for Coffee, who takes a big facade before she can dig. Which does, like, nothing, by the way. So we harden, and harden, and harden, and harden, and harden, and harden, and another harden to dodge a potential counter, before finally getting hit by Yawn. Once asleep, Slacking used Yawn again for some reason. After a very long battle of questionable decisions by my dad, and some paralysis, Slacking only hit Coffee with 1 feint attack. Norman helps us even more by having Linoon's HP, so we can KO it easier. Thanks for throwing the battle for us, Dad. I'll take that 5th badge, thank you. On our way to our next challenge, we find arguably the most important member of the team. cast form. Fluff, the cast form. And she absolutely destroys Winona, with a little help from Nutmeg and Cinnamon, using her awesome coverage moves and Nutmeg shenanigans to easily beat Winona, getting us our 6th badge and massively raising our level cap. I take this newfound freedom to run through New Mauville and get the Thunderbolt TM, finish training Fluff in speed and special attack, watch my boy Cinnamon finally grow up to be a man, beat up an entire eco-terrorist group or two, one of them twice, and crush May's fighting spirit forever, just so I can go shopping. Then, and only then, do we get to our next major fight. Tate and Liza. They lead with their Xatu and Claydol, while I lead Fluff and Coffee. Fluff hits Xatu with a nasty Thunderbolt, but Claydol retaliates with an Earthquake that does way too much damage for me to keep in Fluff. Meaning time for Plan B. Coffee takes down Xatu before the Calm Mind boost becomes an issue, which is nice. Cinnamon comes in as we eat up another Earthquake, and watch Lunatone set up. Claydol continues its assault, and Lunatone puts Cinnamon to sleep. This is huge. If our water type is effectively out of the battle, my chances are grim, as that EQ timer ticks our HP away. I've come too far to start again. I have to win this. On this run, or not at all. And Coffee knows this. She breaks through her limits with the most clutch ancient power boost I've ever seen. Now outspeeding Claydol and Lunatone, and powering up even more. Not just keeping herself in this fight longer, but carrying this fight. Knocking out Lunatone and brushing off Earthquakes. It's not over yet, though. Cinnamon needs to surf here. He's been sleeping this entire time, and I cannot win without him. But Claydol survives Secret Power. Cinnamon just barely lives, and Solrock charges Solar Beam. Come on, now's the time to get up and show them... Oh. Plan C, then. Nutmeg takes the place of Cinnamon because the Solar Beam is 100% going to that spot. And the GOAT Coffee finally KOs the Claydol before we encore and clean up Solrock for our 7th gym badge. Easy. Not stressful at all. Only one gym left before the Pokemon League. The end is in my sights. So let's take on Juan. Oh, also we saved the world or something. But anyways, back to Juan. This absolute Chad sex icon leads with Love Disc to flex on the haters. But unfortunately for him, I'm not one of them. Fluff really can't do much against Whiscash though. So Nutmeg takes over as Whiscash sets up the rain and gets encored into Amnesia. Just long enough for Coffee to take it down and stall out the rain. Next up is Celio, and not wanting Coffee to die, I bring in Nutmeg again, who gets confused and crit. So I switch to Fluff, who gets crit, but T-bolts to KO not only the Celio, but the Crawdaunt too. Juan's ace is out next, Kingdra. Fluff T-bolts once, as Kingdra uses Double Team, which is not great, but I saved Cinnamon just for this fight, and he's more than strong enough. He's bulky enough to take hits, has a powerful Earthquake, and rest just in case. But we don't miss. We never miss. I have never missed in my life. As Kingdra goes down, in 3 earthquakes. Just like that, we take our final badge from Juan's sexy, sexy hands. We're on to our final challenge, the Pokémon League, and I am almost done with this godforsaken run. And for that, I'll need to level, like, a lot. No training montage, though. It's boring. I need to start hacking rare candies into the game. We start the Elite Four at a high level 55, with Sydney up first. Fluff easily deals with Mighty Anna, but she misses Cacturne, flinches, and misses again. So Coffee comes in, and also gets flinched. Twice. But she gets the job done. Cinnamon overpowers Crawdaunt, and Fluff outguns Shiftry, and Cinnamon comes back to finish off Absol, sending us to the next Elite Four member. However you say her name. She leads Dusclops, who usually starts with Protect, so we set up Rain, and Fluff goes absolutely wild. Her Weather Ball one-shots 4 Mons before the rain ends, and the ace Dusclops goes down. Overall, an uneventful fight, but it shows you the unmatched, raw power of cast form. Anyways, Glacia's first 3 Mons get rocked by Fluff's newly taught Thunder. Then Coffee takes on Glalie, just wrecking it with Ancient Power after tanking an Ice Beam. But regrettably, can't survive Walrein Surf. So long, Coffee. You are a real one. Fluff avenges her fallen sister with 2 Thunderbolts by taking down the Walrein, and not the guy that definitely misplayed. Drake, the Dragon Master, was the next victim of Fluff's rage. Her Ice Beam, leaving Shelgon and Altaria knocked out cold. With the aid of Nutmeg, Fluff destroys Kingdra with little issue. Flygon and Salamence also fall to Fluff's cold fury. I only have one thing left to do. Only one trainer stands in my way. The Water-type expert, Champion Wallace. This fight alone will decide if I can walk away from this game feeling like the greatest of all time, or if this was just a waste of time. Which it really is either way. But I have a plan. And that plan is steroids. So using all 15 rare candies I had gathered, a roided out Fluff enters the field, distracting Wallace with her massive muscles, just long enough to KO Wailord. Tentacruel, however, lives and hits Fluff with Toxic. But, luckily, I came prepared, and a Pecha Berry neutralizes the poison, letting us get through Tentacruel almost for free. Next is the dreaded Ludicolo. His infamous double teams make him an absolute menace, since you can't hit him. Nutmeg comes in to give Fluff a break, since I need her for later. And I had planned on locking it down with an Encore and handling it somehow, but surprise! Encore can miss, and Leech Seed has been whittling Nutmeg down until an Encore finally lands. On Double Team. So Fluff returns to set up Rain for auto-hit Thunders, and then Encore ends. So Fluff gets hit by a gnarly Giga Drain. But Fluff retaliates with a critical hit Thunder. Fluff carrying this run for real for real. Whiscash is next, which Fluff can't hurt. So we're back to Nutmeg. He's out of Encores, and Whiscash being a mixed attacker, I decide to not risk the counter or Mirror Coat failing. So we spam Destiny Bond until the job is done. Rip in peace, Nutmeg. I'll remember you, always. Fluff, once again, comes to the field to avenge her fallen family, obliterating Gyarados, and now staring down Wallace's ace. Thunderbolt does over half, but Surf takes a decent chunk out of our HP. But another Thunderbolt should finish this. Melodic survives, and if that previous Surf was a low roll, Fluff could die here. Melodic uses Recover. Thanks for throwing, nerd! Not even close. And just like that, we defeat Champion Wallace, and my Pokemon Emerald, no catch, hardcore Nuzlocke, is finally over. Okay, but can we beat Steven, though?